Hey, everybody. Welcome to Live with Heather Vickery. I'm Heather Vickery. It's Thursday, and I join you every Thursday at 12 p.m. Central to share one way that you can step out of fear and into bravery. You can embrace joy, happiness, hope, possibility, make the difference that you desire making in the world by caring for yourself first. I'm talking to all of you conscious leaders. What is a conscious leader? A conscious leader is somebody who is aware of how they show up in the world, how much space they take up in the world, how they're supporting, how they're being an ally, how they're prioritizing the well-being of other people, whether it's on their team, in their community, in their family. But they start by prioritizing themselves. See, you can't give other people what you're not able to give yourself. And conscious leaders know that when you start to embody joy and lead from embodied joy, you show up differently, you engage differently, you have more impact and effect on other people, and it is game changing. So I love working with conscious leaders. And today's topic is about the importance of creativity as a conscious leader, how creativity helps you be a better conscious leader, and also how creativity is a form of revolution. And quite frankly, we live in a world right now where being a thoughtful, intentional, conscious leader is also revolutionary. So these are really wonderful things that tie in together, and they help you be the best version of yourself. They help you fight the power. They help you have the impact and the desire that you want, the change that you want in the world at large. And it starts with you. It starts right here. It starts with you taking time for yourself. It starts with you. I want to make sure my microphone was on. It is. It starts with you prioritizing time to be creative, to experience joy, to be playful, to prioritize your peace, right? Hey, how are you, Melissa? It starts with you in your soul, because when you shift from the inside out, then the way that you show up in the world is different. It's stronger, it's healthier, it's more impactful. There is a ripple effect, right? People see you doing that and they get inspired by that. You know that old saying that your parents used to say, do what I say, not what I do? It didn't work then and it doesn't work now. People are watching what you do far more than what you say. What you say might get their interest, it might get them connected, it might get them listening to you. But if you don't practice what you preach, if you don't follow through with the things that you say are important, everyone knows it and you lose all credibility. And as a conscious leader who I know wants to make a tremendous impact on the world, you have a purpose and a passion. Taking care of yourself and prioritizing yourself has to be a top priority. There's simply no way around it. Now, look, that does not mean that you don't care about other people. In fact, it means that you do. It means that you deeply care about other people. It doesn't mean bubble baths and pedicures, and those things are great. Those things are fun. I'm a fan. I take a bubble bath. Well, I don't take a bubble bath, but I take an Epsom salt bath, a magnesium flake bath, like several times a week. Those things are really, really important if that brings you a little joy and a little peace. But I'm talking about doing the internal work. So for me, these things look like doing a guided visualization or meditation, doing an EFT tapping meditation, finding time for peace and quiet, reading, going for a walk, laughing, playing, having fun with my friends, travel and adventure, building community. I am a passionate community builder, and I know that there are no safe spaces. There are only safe people. It's the people that make the safe this it's it's the people who make the spaces safe. And I can promise you this, if you choose to engage in any of my communities, it will be a safe space because I only interact with safe people. I have a couple of communities. We're here together right now, whether you're watching on YouTube or LinkedIn or TikTok, you're part of my community. And I see you and I honor you and I want to support you and I want to be your biggest cheerleader and your biggest fan. But if you want to do some of this work a little bit more intentionally, if you are one of those folks who is busy, busy, busy and doesn't have a ton of time to prioritize your own well-being, your own growth, your own joy, your own intuition, you're going to want to join me inside the Spark Collective, which is my community membership that is specifically designed for busy, conscious leaders like you and like me to show up for yourself in 10 or 15 minutes a day, just a couple times a week. We have weekly intuitive journal prompts. We have accountability, community. If you want it, there's no pressure. If you don't want the community, that's okay. Show up as much or as little as you want to engage with the group, but take care of yourself. And I have a badass content library filled with quick resources, 10 or 15-minute resources that you can do with yourself on your own time frame to connect and support yourself. The Spark Collective is $18 a month. That is it. And if you join for the year, you get 2 months free. Hello, wait, what? Go to my website, vickeryandco.com, or follow the link in my bio and check it out, because you definitely want to be inside the Spark Collective. I promise I'm getting to today's content. We're talking about the importance of creation, creativity, creating and experiencing creativity as a conscious leader. Before we get to that, I want to tell you one more thing. I am taking a group of heart-centered conscious leaders to Costa Rica in January of 2026, and I want you to join us. So this is beyond the quick burst of I don't have a lot of time to take care of myself. This is something to look forward to, something to plan on, something to be intentional about, finding time to prioritize your peace, to reclaim your peace, to be joyful, to be in community with other people, to rest, to reflect, to reassess, to experience, to adventure. It is an eco-friendly resort that is owned by a queer company, right? A queer man. It is indigenous. It is honorable. All of the practitioners are indigenous to Costa Rica. That's really, really important to me. They also call it Eco Comfort. So it's plant-based and alcohol-free, but it's delicious. It's 5-star, folks. This is fun stuff. So we have retreats, whole week retreat prices that start at like $3,000. And I know that that's a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money for this type of experience. So whatever your budget is, if you're looking for a retreat, if you're looking for a getaway, you are going to want to check out the Costa Rica retreat. The link to Costa Rica is in all of my bios. DM me, ask me questions. Every week I host a live Q&A session to answer questions about the Costa Rica retreat. And on the 14th, I'm headed to Costa Rica for a familiarization trip. They call it a fam trip, so that I can see firsthand what it's going to be like. I can try all the things that y'all are going to be doing. I can live stream, I can do videos, I can share all of that. So folks, you are going to want to follow along. Make sure you're following, make sure you're promoting, make sure you're talking about it. You're not going to want to miss all of those details. And I'd love to see you at the Costa Rica retreat. All right, let's talk about creativity. Let's talk about the importance of creativity. So first, I want to just share with you that I'm an avid reader. I'm an avid learner. I'm always looking for new ways to learn and grow. And I find reading to be one of the most impactful ways that I can find inspiration. I can be part of creativity. Conscious leaders create. Art and creativity are activism. Inherently, it fuels a revolution. It fuels revolutionary joy, and joy in and of itself is a revolution, right? And so just in the last couple of weeks, I have had a number of things remind me of the importance of creativity in conscious leadership and in revolutionary conscious leadership. One of them was the book Harlem Rhapsody by Victoria Christopher Murray. This followed the story of Jessie Fawcett, who was the first literary editor of The Crisis, the NAACP magazine. And, the magazine in general was all about activism, right? It was inherently political. It was about helping people see themselves and enjoy the arts and enjoy words and music and passion and all of that. And that was a really wonderful reminder. I also am a follower of Julia Cameron's The Artist Way. And in The Artist Way, Julia talks about how everyone is an artist. Everyone is, whether you make really gorgeous spreadsheets or you are a singer or a keynote speaker or a podcaster, whether you're an author or somebody who just makes a room look beautiful, or maybe it's just in the way you make somebody feel. Everyone is an artist, and prioritizing time to be creative opens up a flow of energy. It opens up a flow of connectivity, of learning from yourself, of growing yourself and expanding and exploring other people. It's a really beautiful reminder that we get to define what creativity is for each of us. It doesn't have to be what society defines as creative. There are so many ways to show up creatively, and conscious leaders are required to show up creatively in unique, new, fun, inventive ways if you want to be a mentor, if you want to inspire, if you want to motivate. You have to be creative. And then I also recently read Be a Revolution. This book is by, and I hope I don't butcher her name, Ijoma Ulu. I hope I said that right. Ijoma Ulu. I think that's right. And I am sorry. I try really hard. I know that pronouncing people's names is super, super, super important. And I'm really thoughtful and conscious of that. First of all, I want to just say, hey, Anna Deshawn, how are you? Be a Revolution is an incredible book. I listened to it. Y'all, this book is a commitment. It's basically like 6 books in one. And I was hesitant because as a book, it was an 18-hour audio book. And I'm like, holy shit, that's a really big commitment, but it's worth it. You can piecemeal it, right? You can take content like this. You don't have to power it out and just go, go, go instantly. You can definitely piecemeal it and do it in chunks. But there was one particular chapter specifically about artistry, being an artist, and experiencing art, and how completely revolutionary that is, both to be an artist and a creator, but also simply just to experience it, taking the time to listen to something that moves you, watch something that moves you, be immersed in something artistic that moves you is an act of revolutionary joy, especially in a world that wants to take away your joy. And I loved that reminder. Highly, highly, highly recommend that particular book, all of them. And I really want to know, if you're here and you're watching and you're thinking about this, what are some of the unique creative ways that you show up in your life, in your family, in your community, in your workspace? How is creativity something that supports your purpose, your drive as a conscious leader? I want to hear how you get creative, because I want to honor that. I want to celebrate that. I want to experience that with you. It's so much fun, right? And we put off creativity, both creating art and experiencing art. We put it off because we think, I'll do that later. I don't have time. The world is too messy. I have too many things to do. I'm too busy, all of that. But I am here to tell you that prioritizing art and creativity and joy is so required to continue to chase your dreams and your mission, and to be the thoughtful, intentional, conscious leader that you most desire being. So here are just a few actionable ways that you can embody more joy as a creative leader by being creative, as a conscious leader, by being creative. First, start a daily creativity practice. What do I mean when I say that? Okay. So whether you're writing or doodling or playing an instrument or doing videos or doing a live stream or simply just going out and collecting things from nature to make a montage or a little altar, be in a creative practice every day for at least 5 minutes. Whatever that looks like for you, it can be anything. Maybe you like to make video edits, reels, whatever that is. Be in a creative practice every day for at least 5 minutes. And you can play. It doesn't have to be the same thing every day. It can be anything that you want it to be. Incorporate art and creativity into your leadership. Again, storytelling, visual aids, interactive experiences help engage and inspire other people. So find unique ways to be in art, be in creation as a conscious leader. Host or attend artistic and creative gatherings. How fun is that? We don't ever think about that when we're community building. Organize painting nights, poetry readings, music jam sessions, or building community and connection with hands-on things. Last week, I went to an event called Paint and Flow, or Create and Flow, I think it was, at our local library. I met a woman named Tara Levy. She is amazing. She goes into organizations and has these events where you are painting and listening to music, and there was spoken word, and people were singing and performing, and it was just all about being in flow with creativity and just sort of seeing what comes from that. And maybe something massive will come from it, or maybe it won't. Maybe you'll just spend an hour or two in the process of creating, of being with yourself, of being present in the moment, of shutting down the noise. That was beautiful. So go to events like that, or create them. You can do them for yourself, your family, your community, your team, your clients, whatever you want. That's a really beautiful opportunity. I host creative gatherings via retreats. My Costa Rica retreat is a creative gathering. That's a wonderful way to come and get creative and expand and explore. So, again, if you're curious about the Costa Rica retreat, please reach out. We are going in January 2026. It's going to be amazing. Make sure you're supporting and collaborating with other artists. This is really important, especially when we want to be a revolution, especially when we want to be part of revolutionary joy. Finding local artists to support and promote, exploring their work, sharing their work is really game changing. And it could make all the difference in the world to these artists, to these creators. So do not sleep on that. Go find ways to engage with artists in your local community. The other thing I really love is using art for reflection and for growth. So this is a really beautiful way to tap into deeper self-awareness. In my Spark Collective, which we talked about earlier, $18 a month to show up for yourself sort of in the cracks of your life, right? 10 or 15 minutes a day, a couple times a week. I do intuitive journal prompts every week. And a lot of people think that that has to be done by journaling, by writing, but it doesn't. You could sing your response. You could draw your response. You could speak it out loud. You could share it with a friend. You could call a friend or text a friend or email a friend or go on TikTok or YouTube Live or LinkedIn, and you could say, here's the prompt that I'm thinking about today. Let's talk about this together. You could get really creative. You could make decoupage inspired by this particular journal prompt. Like, find different ways to be reflective via art for your own growth and your own expression. Bring playfulness into every space that you're in. Decorate your office with inspiring works, play music, introduce creative breaks into your workday. What does a creative break look like? I don't know. You could do anything you wanted to bring in a creative break in your workday. Dance party, go outside, commune with nature. I do a lot of somatic yoga. That's actually a creative break for me. Pull a card. We're going to pull a Create Brave card in a minute. That's a creative break. Maybe you're going to draw. Maybe you're going to doodle. Maybe you're just going to research other people's art or see something, learn something new, listen to something new, right? There are so many wonderful ways to engage with playfulness in your space. You can leverage your social media creatively, sharing your personal creative projects, amplifying your voice, amplifying other voices within the community is a wonderful way to be a creative, thoughtful, conscious leader, to be a revolution. Conscious leaders are creative. They create art that is revolutionary, that changes the world. Make sure that we are engaging with art. We are engaging with other people. It's really, really important to be able to do that. So I am so excited to hear all of the ways that you are out embracing creativity as a conscious leader. How are you engaging in creativity and art? How are you experiencing it? How are you sharing it? How are you amplifying it? Such a beautiful opportunity. Okay. I'm going to pull a Create Brave card. These are a deck of manifestation cards. I co-created these with my friend Rachel Swanson. They're perhaps my favorite product I've ever done. And you can grab them through the shop on my website. So if you go to vickeryandco.com/shop, you're going to find them. I think they're only $35 right now, which is a really, really good deal. And Rachel is a creativity coach. I'm the Brave Method coach. They come in this beautiful magnetic box. How gorgeous is this? There's a guidebook that is like having two coaches in your pocket, and it has the focus word, the affirmation, coaching guidance, as well as an activity, a Create Brave prompt, a thing you can do right now. The cards are by themselves are just so stunning, and these beautiful teal glitter edges. I love them. So I'm going to just shuffle and see what message the manifestation deck has for us today. Oh, here she is. That's funny. You ever know, like, I just shuffle until the universe is like, that's your card. And this one, when I start shuffling, turned sideways. And I'm like, okay, we'll go with that one. So let's see what we got here. Appropriate growth. I am aware and intentional about how I expand. Hey, Nina, welcome. I am aware and intentional about how I expand. So remember that manifestation isn't about declaring something and it magically happens. Manifestation is about declaring something and then shifting the way you show up in the world to make it happen. And when a card like growth shows up, which is perfect for today, because we're talking about creativity, we're talking about the importance of being artistic and creative as a conscious leader who wants to make an impact on the world, who is making an impact on the world. This card pops up to say to you, be honest about how you're intentionally growing. I am aware and intentional about how I expand. This card shows up, and you get to then check in with yourself and say, am I doing the things that I want to be doing to grow in the ways that I desire growing? Am I happy with the results that I'm getting? Am I being creative in this process? Right? So, growth. So, think about what this word means for you, how it shows up for you right now, how it makes you feel, and especially where in your body you're feeling whatever you're feeling. That's a really good indicator also. I love this card, the growth card. Again, if you want to get the deck of Create Brave cards, you can go to my website. I don't have a TikTok shop because they have made it really difficult to set one up, so whatever. But you can get it on my website. We are doing a workshop on March 26th. It's called Bloom. So with the spring equinox, I help people. This is when we goal set. This is when we plan intentionally for the year ahead. And I like to do it with spring. I don't do it in the calendaric new year. I do it with the spring equinox. So we are getting really intentional. We are reflecting. We are planning. We are creating. We are going to do all sorts of really cool things that involve metaphysics, that involve NLP, EFT tapping. We're going to do some subliminal audios, some journaling, some planning, and in community. I would love to have you join me for the Bloom workshop. Those links are saved at the top of all of my bios. Come and hang out with us there. You're going to have a great time. And I hope to see you at the Costa Rica retreat. I hope to see you inside the Spark Collective. And either case, I hope to see you next week for the very next episode of Live with Heather Vickery. Thank you so much for spending time with me here today, for carving out time for yourself, for your growth, for your awareness, for your own conscious, intentional leadership. I'm Heather Vickery, reminding you today and every day to go out and choose yourself bravely. Bye, folks. Take care. All right.